welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Anna, and you guys, I am so sorry because I asked for you guys to ask me questions on Instagram so long ago. I think it was like over a month and a half ago, and that I would do an updated Q&A for you guys. So here it is. I'm so sorry it's taken so long. It has been a hectic couple of months. I mean, you guys know, especially here in the States, we really have been dealing with COVID, and you know, that has spread like wildfire. If you guys don't know, I live in New York City. New York City was like the hardest hit when it came to COVID. So there's just been so much going on, and you know, I'm still working, thank God. Like, knock on wood, I still have a job, but we are working from home, which is great because it gave me more time to really focus on my crystal business and YouTube, you know, other things that I have going on outside of work. So that's been really great, but it's been really devastating what's been happening here, and especially here in the city. And the protests then started. I mean, it's just been a crazy couple of months. So I'm so sorry because I personally had just been so overwhelmed with everything going on, and I still needed time to process everything myself. I also had a family member who ended up getting the virus. That was heartbreaking, and just having to deal with that. So luckily that person is still alive, made a full recovery, thank God. But you know, it wasn't easy. They were in the hospital by themselves. We can only have contact via calling them on the phone. So it was hard. But anyways, so that's just kind of been the struggle, is that there's just been a lot going on these last couple months. So it's been a while, and I had to like compose myself and really get in a better headspace to sit down and make videos for you guys again, because it's been hard. You know, I've done a lot of the seller hauls, but those are pretty easy. I just go through the crystals, show you guys what I got. But actually sitting down face to face and talking with you guys, you know, that's tough. That's tough. And especially when you don't have it all together, you don't want to be in front of a camera. So that's kind of why I've been away for a while. So I'm so sorry. I apologize. But I'm back, and I'm here to do the question and answer. I have all your guys' questions right here. You guys asked me a ton of questions, so thank you so much for you guys who asked me questions. A lot of them, pretty much all of them, will be crystal related. So let's get started. I'm not going to mumble too much because this probably will be a long video answering all these questions. So let's get started with the first question, because this might be a long one. All right. If you could have one crystal only, what would it be? That's really hard. I would have to say, especially right now at this moment, I'm really gravitating towards amethyst. I love amethyst. Amethyst has kind of been a favorite of mine since forever. I really like fluorite and pink amethyst as well, but I would definitely have to say just amethyst. Like the purple amethyst. Oh, I'm showing you guys and you can't even see, but I have like a little purple amethyst altar here with a few purple amethyst pieces. So I just wanted to show you guys. That's one of them. I feel like it doesn't really matter what shape or form it's in. I'm just always really gravitating towards amethyst. So if it could be one crystal, I would really say amethyst. Amethyst is really a good crystal for like depression and things like that, and just calming people. So I really love amethyst and gravitate towards it. Next question. Do you prefer raw or polished crystals? I would actually say it's hard, because I want to say my collection, I'm actually looking at it because it's over here on the left hand side of me. I want to say the bigger majority of my collection is polished pieces, but I also have a ton of raw pieces. So that's hard. Okay, I'll say polished because that's the majority of what I have, but I also really love raw crystals as well. So next question, what's your favorite crystal that you really connect with? That's a good question. So I did mention a crystal I wouldn't live without is amethyst, and I want to say a crystal that I really connect with is fluorite. I really love fluorite. Those have to be my top two, is definitely fluorite and amethyst. I really gravitate towards that. So one that I really connect with is also, I would have to say fluorite, but that also could be because fluorite doesn't hold on to negative energies. You know, usually a lot of your crystals, you guys should be cleansing them. Let me know if you guys want a video on that. I can definitely give you more information on that. But you want to be cleansing your crystals, right? Because a lot of crystals hold on to your energy. So let's say you're using your crystals either for meditation, or you come back and you had a bad day and you just have that negative energy pent up. Your crystals feed, I don't want to say they feed off of that, but they feel that, and then that stays with the crystal. So you want to be cleansing your crystals. You can cleanse your crystals with the full moon. You can cleanse some of them with water. I repeat, some. There are a lot of crystals that you don't want to put in water because it will either dissolve it or just mess with it or mess with the coloring. So some crystals you can cleanse with water, not all crystals. And then also just incense, as well as Palo Santo sticks. You can use that as well. I actually like Palo Santo sticks more just because I like the smell of it better. For me personally, I just really like that smell of like the wood. So that's how I cleanse my crystals, and I want to say I do that every 2 weeks at least. And then especially now that I'm a seller, even more often, because I cleanse all the new crystals that I have come in, just because you don't want your crystals to hang on to negative energy. You just want to cleanse them, clean them, and then it just helps you. I know that when I go around and cleanse my crystals, it almost feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. It really does. I know, like, maybe that might make sense to a lot of you. It might not make sense to a lot of you, you know, whatever the case is. But to me, it's just, it really, I don't know. There's just like this weight kind of lifted after I cleanse my crystals, because I feel like if I'm in a negative headspace or I'm really upset about something and down about it, like it kind of lingers. And then when I cleanse my crystals, I just feel more uplifted. I feel more positive. I feel like this is nice. This is good. I'm cleansed. My crystals are cleansed. It just gives me that type of feeling. Next question. What made you want to be a crystal seller? So honestly, you guys are the ones that were like, oh, Anna, I would really love if you opened up a little shop, because I think threw around the idea of opening up an Etsy just to destash some of my collection. So if you guys don't know, a lot of people who collect, depending like when they started, what kind of crystals they started with, like me, when I started, I started with really small crystals, and then I kind of made my way up, and then I just didn't see a need to keep those smaller crystals. Also space, you guys, okay? I live in a small New York City apartment. I do my filming, I do my crystal shop and everything out of my room, like my room, guys, okay? Like I have an apartment, but it's so small, and the living room and everything is so packed with other things that all this, my crystal selling, YouTube videos, this is all done in my room. You guys are in my room. This is where I do it. So I don't have a lot of space. I have a collection. It's pretty big. It's not a small collection, but I can't keep getting more and more crystals because I just don't have the space for it. Yeah, so anyway, sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there. All right, I had to look at the question again. So what made you want to be a crystal seller? So yeah, it really was you guys, because I kind of floated around the idea of destashing some of my crystals on Etsy. And when I did post a few of them, my first destashes, you guys bought them out. Like, you really like them. And then a lot of you guys were like, you should really do this. Like, you should sell crystals and see how it goes, because we really like your videos. We like to see what you bring in. We like the quality you bring in. And that's where it all started. Like, you guys really encouraged me to do it. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I decided not to be in that headspace of, well, should I, you know, if this doesn't work out, should I didn't even like go that route. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. Let's do this. Let's make this full blown and see what happens. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll sell the crystals I have and move on. And that's it. But you guys love these crystals. I love these crystals. Honestly, I have found such a new passion for crystals now that I'm a supplier of them and I sell them to you guys. It's like, it's one thing when you're a collector, but then when you become a seller and you get, you know, you could just afford more crystals, different crystals. It's just, it's a whole different experience. So it's really, really cool. So yeah, it's you guys that encouraged me. Next question. How did you get into crystals? So this is interesting, and I've mentioned this in a few other videos. When I started collecting crystals about 3-4 years ago, I was pretty much at my lowest place in life, not in a negative way. So I wasn't depressed. I wasn't like, I wasn't, I don't know how to say it. Like, I was down, but I was never, just to give you guys reference, like, I've never had an addiction to anything, drugs, alcohol, nothing like that. I was not depressed. It was just one of those things where I had recently graduated college, started a 9-to-5 full-time job, which I love. Like, I love the people I work with. I like what I do, but I just felt like that's it. That's all I was doing, right? I was just waking up Monday through Friday, going to work, coming home. That's it. And it was just, it's not my dream job. I will definitely say that, because I still don't really know what I want to do. I actually really love crystal selling. So if I can try to make it full time, I actually really want to, because I love doing this. So my passion where I work now, 9 to 5, is not a passion of mine. It's not something that I'm like, oh my God, this is where I shouldn't say it's not that it's not where I want to be in life, because it's a great position and I work with great people, but it's definitely, I don't know, it's a job. It gets the bills paid, you know? That's all I can really say about it. And I really like the people I work with. My boss is great. So, you know, what was the question? Okay, sorry. I keep forgetting what these questions are because I go off on these tangents. So how did you get into crystals? Okay, so basically my point is that I wasn't like really down in life because of something traumatic or anything like that, or going through any type of addiction. That wasn't the case. I was just down because I just felt like, well, what's next? What else am I doing with my life, you know? So I really felt down about that. Like, it really got me into like a negative headspace. Not depressed, because I was still able, I don't know what you would call it. I don't know if you would label it depression. I don't think it was depression. It could have been a form of it. I'm not sure, but I felt stuck. I felt like I wasn't doing anything else. I was just doing work. This isn't my dream job. It's just a job that gets the bills paid. So, you know, I was really stuck. So I remember I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, just people vlogging, a lot of family vlogs, things like that, just to kind of uplift my spirits, just to be doing something else. I mean, I watch a ton of TV, and like, I already watched all the movies and shows there were to watch. So I started watching YouTube. A lot of YouTubers showed their crystal collections, just like around the house and stuff like that. And these YouTubers, these are big YouTubers who have like really big crystals, like really big expensive statement pieces. And then they started explaining like how they got into crystals and why. And then I was like, okay, well, there's something to this. Like, all right, a lot of people are collecting this. I've seen these in a lot of people's homes. Like, I knew about crystals when I was younger too. Like, I knew about them, but I never really gravitated towards them or brought them. But I was like, you know what, maybe they can help, because there's also a lot of crystals that help with motivation. They help with you know, just a lot of different things. There's so many different crystals out there that I'm not going to get off on that tangent, but there's so many crystals that can help with like blockages and things like that. Like mentally, if you're blocked or if you're in a negative space, there's crystals that can help with that. So I just decided, let me try it. Why not? Let me see. So that's how that started. Is basically, I was in a point in my life where I felt like I'm doing the same thing. I got into a routine. I was really bored with it, and I just wanted to do something different, try something different. And I knew crystals work for a lot of people, and a lot of people had mentioned them before. So I was like, you know what, let me try. I mean, it doesn't hurt to buy some crystals, see what happens. But again, right, you have to believe in that kind of stuff, if that makes sense. A lot of people just think crystals are rocks. They're like, oh, why are you putting all this money into rocks? Okay. So again, you really just, you know, to get that energy, to get that positivity, you really have to believe in them. You have to believe that they will help you and they will work for you and with you, like if you start meditating with them and stuff like that. So that's how I got into crystals, is that I was in a really low place. And that's actually where a lot of people find crystals. When they're in a low place, when they're dealing with trauma, even a lot of people right now dealing with the coronavirus, a lot of people, you know, they need to turn to something. They want something that will help with the anxiety, with the stress, with depression. So that's where I was stuck and I needed something, and crystals just kind of called to me. All right, next question. Do you think you would ever be a full-time crystal seller? Great question. I did touch on this. I would love to do it full-time. I really would. But just right now, with everything I have going on, I have work, I have YouTube, I have a crystal shop. It's basically managing 3 full-time jobs all at once. It's a lot. So I can't do it now just because I don't have the means to do so. You know, I'm still paying off a lot of student loans and stuff like that. So hopefully when those loans are paid off, I'm getting more income in my crystal business, and you guys are still interested and still want to buy from me, and business keeps picking up. Definitely, I could definitely see going like full-time and really making it full-blown, and I would love to do that. That would actually be really great. Just right now, I can't. I have to pay off a lot of loans. My job pays really well. But again, I live in New York City, right? Yeah, my job pays well, but then all that goes to rent, you know, your loan payments, bills, just like everything adds up. And especially in New York City, it's so expensive here. So I would love to make it full-time. I just right now am not making enough to make it a full-time job, but I would love to hopefully in the future. So we'll see. All right, next question. Have you learned how to do crystal healing? Good question. So a lot of people have asked me this, and a lot of you guys are interested if I like meditate with them, what I do and things like that. So you guys, I'm not gonna lie, again, I've been super busy that I haven't had a chance to really sit down and learn about really meditating, you know, creating crystal grids. I really want to get into that, and I really want to do a lot more research before actually sitting down and doing these things. So have I really full-blown started doing that? No. I would love to. If you guys have any advice, I would be more than open to hear it. I know there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. I know there's a lot of crystal books, a lot of meditation books. So there's a lot out there to read up on and really study. So I want to actually take the time to do that and then start really, you know, creating crystal grids, meditating with them. But as of now, I haven't really gotten into anything crystal healing, not yet. You know, my form of meditation is I hold the crystal that I want to work on, right? Depending on its properties and its healing properties, that's the crystal I hold, and I meditate with that for a bit. But I don't have like a full-on like routine or anything like that. So unfortunately, no, I haven't really gotten into crystal healing yet, but trust me, it is on my bucket list. It is on my to-do list. I will definitely, I have read up on some things, but I definitely want to read up more. I want to watch some videos and really get some more information before really discussing it with you guys and giving you guys more information, because I'm not going to lie, I don't know. I don't have that information, so I don't want to spread false information to you guys. So when I do read up on that, really get into it, I will for sure let you guys know. Next question. Which crystal do you sell the most? That's actually a great question. I want to say you guys really love flower agates. You guys really, when I post flower agate, you guys sell me out of those so quick, and that's why I have so much of it. Spheres, towers, hearts, you guys love your flower agate. That definitely has to be like a top seller for me. So that would be my top seller. Then the next question, there is a question how to do a crystal grid and the steps to that. Again, you guys, I'm not a crystal guru when it comes to crystal healing or grids. So again, I'm so sorry. From what I've seen and from what I've read up on crystal grids, it's just you want to in the center put a stone that you want to focus things on, right? If you want to manifest a new job, if you want to manifest wealth, good health, you want to put a stone that's kind of meant for that, and then the crystals kind of align to what you're trying to meditate and you're trying to manifest in your life. But again, I'm not 100% sure because I haven't gotten too into it. I haven't done it myself, so I don't want to give you guys false information, but I will definitely let you know. Next question, what do you do for your regular job? That's actually a really great question. So if you guys don't know, I'm not going to tell you exactly where, but I do work at a university, and I am an assistant to a lot of vice presidents at that university. So if you guys can imagine, it's a ton of work. It's a lot of calendaring, phone stuff, I also deal a little bit with HR. I really work really well with the HR team. So we coordinate a lot of events. I'm also in charge of, like, you know, the new student orientation for the freshmen when they come in. So it's a lot. I do a lot. That's what I do. I am an assistant, but I play so many roles within that role, right? Like, I'm taking care of my people, like the people, my boss and the people I support, but I also work with HR. I also work on the new student orientation. So I do a little bit of everything kind of in the university, which is actually a lot of fun. I did when I was in college. Every semester I had an on-campus job, and I really love that, and that's what kind of got me this job. Is I came out of college, and my resume, basically every year of college I was working with the department on campus. So that's why the university, I think, ended up actually choosing me, is because I was fresh out of school. I worked I was going to say 8 years, all 4 years, excuse me, but 8 semesters. I worked, even in the summer, I actually stayed on campus and worked. So I had a lot of experience with dealing with different offices and things like that. So that's what I think even landed me my job. So that's what I do. It's a lot of work. It's also a pretty big commute. It takes me about an hour and a half, a little bit over an hour, almost an hour and a half to get to work. And then especially with New York City traffic, getting home, it takes me almost 2 hours to get home. So you guys, my commute is over 3 hours a day just to get to work, and then I do crystal selling, and then I do YouTube. So I do a lot. It's just, I got a lot going on in life. All right, next question, a little bit off topic, but that is okay. How long have you had your cat? I actually have 2 cats. They are 2 sisters that we adopted from the shelter about 3 years ago. I'll insert a picture of them right here somewhere so you guys can see. They're Masha and Sasha. Those are their names, and I've had them for almost 3 years now. All right, next question. What are your top 5 favorite crystals? Okay, so my top 5 have to be amethyst, fluorite, lepidolite. I love lepidolite. It's really great for my anxiety. Mookaite, really great travel stone. And then let's see, what am I really gravitating towards now? Flower agates. I actually really like flower agates currently. You guys really love them and you really got me into them, so I would have to say my last one would be flower agate at the moment. Next question. Is it hard to sell crystals as a business? Yes and no. So what was really great about the way I started my business is that I started doing my hauls on YouTube, right? I asked you if you guys would be interested to see me selling some. You guys were open to see me as a seller and things like that. So it wasn't that hard for when I started because I started already with an audience and people that were interested in buying from me. So I don't want to say it was difficult for me, but I want to say people who are starting from like scratch, like just want to start with an Instagram account and kind of go off from there, it might be kind of hard because again, you have to build up that audience. You have to build up people who want to buy from you, customers who are going to, you know, keep coming back and want to see more things from you. So the question is it hard to sell crystal as a business? For me, yes and no. Like sometimes I have ups and downs. I have some weeks where I get a lot of orders and I'm so happy and thankful. And then I have other weeks where I don't get too many orders and not so much going on. So, you know, it all depends. So was it hard for me? No, because I already had a following and I had people who were interested to buy from me. So luckily on that, you know, for advertising and getting word out there, I already had a good amount of people who knew that I was going to do this, who were interested in buying from me. So that was really helpful. But I think it can be hard for someone who's just starting out, like you just want to start an Instagram account or you just want to start selling. It could be hard because it's going to take you a while to build up an audience and customers and people who are going to support you. Okay, next question. What's your favorite crystal? All right, my favorite, hands down, I always go between amethyst and fluorite, to be honest with you guys. I would say amethyst, I guess, because again, that's a crystal I can't live without. I really love it. I mean, I wouldn't be able to live without fluorite either, but if I had to pick between the two, I would say amethyst. And I think last time it was fluorite, so my favorite has kind of changed a little. And then the next question is so funny. What's your favorite crystal after amethyst? Isn't that funny? Fluorite. So I would say between amethyst and fluorite, those are like my top 2. And then the last question I have, so finally we're almost done here. Did becoming a crystal seller take the fun away from collecting? Absolutely not. If anything, it became a lot more fun. Right? Because think about it. When you're actually collecting, depending on where you are, you're kind of okay, maybe this doesn't work for everyone because I know there's a lot of crystal collectors who have a lot of money and spend a lot of money on crystals. But personally, for example, when I started out, I only had my full-time job and I was not making a lot of money to then put on the side to like buy crystals, right? So I really started super small. When I first started collecting, I collected very small, like tiny towers, mini spheres, things like that, because I didn't have the money for bigger crystals. But now as a collector, now as a seller of crystals and I'm getting revenue in for these things, I buy what I buy my crystals for. I have some money left over that I put in savings, and if I wanted to, I can buy bigger pieces. So I would say becoming a seller has not taken away from being a collector. If anything, it's actually made it better because I'm working with these suppliers and I'm able to get all these crystals in to sell to you guys. I'm also keeping 1 or 2 for myself. So it's actually been really cool to be able to bring in crystals that either 1, I could never afford before, or, you know, 2, I never really took interest in it, but you guys wanted it, so I brought it into my shop. Again, like flower agates, I never gravitated towards flower agate like that ever. I got 1 piece before when I was a collector, but now that I sell them, there are so many that I kept for myself because I really love them. So again, it's just, you know, different strokes for different folks. Maybe that's not the case with all people, so I don't speak for everyone. This is just my personal experience and my opinion. Being a seller does not take away the fun of being a collector, not at all. If anything, it's a lot more fun because I'm able to bring in new things that I haven't seen before because you guys want to see them. So it's actually been really fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am so sorry if I kind of rambled on, but I hope I answered all your questions. I really love doing these Q&As every couple months because some of my favorites and things like that do change, and it's always interesting to see what people like, what people are into now. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your questions. I'll probably do another one of these in a couple months or so, but if you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. I also do respond on Instagram DMs if you have questions about crystals or things like that, so feel free to DM me as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. None of this would be possible without you. Until next time, bye guys.